A look high above Oral Roberts University at the world's largest praying hands. It's an appropriate setting as we're not too far away from Lucy Red Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma for a Week 3 matchup between the Indianapolis Ramblers and the Tulsa Desperados. And we are inside Lucy Red Stadium, Lucy Red Energy Drink. Check them out at lucyred.com and see why the energy is amazing. Chris Curtis, Aaron Alexander in the broadcast booth today for this Week 3 matchup. And Aaron, the praying hands are appropriate because the pundits and the Tulsa fan base say they need a prayer after an 0-2 start. On the other side, the Ramblers got a prayer answered with a 30-point plus comeback against Canton a week ago.
Yeah, Tulsa looking to restart their season here with their first home game here in the newly christened Lucy Red Stadium. As you mentioned, Indianapolis coming into their first road game in franchise history after a miracle 30-plus point comeback against Canton with 28 unanswered in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a sight to see in this one.
The Who You got this basically as a toss-up all week long, so this should be a fun one. Somehow the Who You Got is a pretty good predictor of the close games and the not-so-close games. We're about ready for football, though. It is Tulsa. It is Indianapolis. Your kickoff, presented by APM Music, is next. Just about to get it going. It's going to be the Ramblers who start things off on offense as Tulsa gets ready to kick it away. Kanye Rockefeller back deep for the return. And we get a chance to take a look at Colin Pierce and Brad Jones and the rest of that Ramblers offense here. First things first. Kickoff is underway as it's in the air. Rockefeller has it just inside his own end zone. Brings it down to the 15, to the 20, left to the 20, to the 25. And he'll get taken down at the 26-yard line. And out comes that Ramblers offense. It is Colin Pierce, Brad Jones, wide receivers Ed Williams, Jay Viper, Ryan Roosevelt, and Jeff Banfield, along with the double tight end set. It is Randy Pierce and Gibson Rickenbacker. As Aaron, these guys, they know how to throw the ball around. They have plenty of options for Colin Pierce to throw to as we get the first down.
Yeah, a lot of throwing options, a lot of running options too. Brad Jones last week, 4 rushing touchdowns.
That is a quick throw left side that's caught, 7-yard completion. And that will get immediately the tight end involved, Randy Pierce, first play of the game.
Yeah, and I like Indianapolis going to the tight ends early, playing more of a short pass game here early on, at least on the first play of the drive. Definitely will be an interesting stat to see how they develop the drive from here.
I form for the Ramblers. Plenty in the box defensively. Handoff Jones. He's got some move on the right-hand side, and that is a good run for a first down. Worked the sweep and took it 1st and 10 for Indianapolis.
Yeah, Brad Jones picking up right where he left off last week. Again, 4 rushing touchdowns in that comeback against Canton, 3 in the fourth quarter, and Brad Jones starts this game off with a nice run on second down.
He was the one who ultimately switched the momentum. As Jones again, plenty of room, left-hand side, same play, and he gets him out to about the 33-yard line into Tulsa territory, and the Ramblers moving their way down the field in the first drive of the game.
Yeah, got to give credit to the offensive line and the 2 tight ends here for Indianapolis, getting some great blocking to allow Brad Jones to get the cuts he needs for those extra yards.
Jones 2 carries and a very nice start for him. 8.7 yards a carry as it sits right now. He's the single back. That's a free play. Pierce over the middle. That one's caught. That was a one-handed grab for a first down as well. Nice work from Banfield to bring that one in. And it is a 1st and 10, depending on the flag.
Yeah, that...
Neutral zone infraction, number 96, defense, the penalty.
That's going to be a neutral zone infraction on defensive end, Berto Demora. Indy, of course, is going to decline that and take that 10-yard first down by Banfield.
Didn't want to be how we introduced Berto Demora, but the rest of the defense looks like this. Chris Andrews, Berto Demora, Mike Mello, and Jaden Swift on the defensive line. Ends and tackles, respectively. Linebackers, Miles Gibson, David Ware, Philadelphia Collins, and more to come. That's a run forward, and that is going to be about a 3-yard gain for Jones. Not much more than that.
Yeah, finally a play where Tulsa manages to stop Brad Jones before he gets beyond the first down marker. Definitely want to see the Desperados keep that up throughout this game.
Tulsa cornerback Nate Heslip had a pick 6 in his last game. Skinny Washington, Cameron Shaw, the other cornerbacks, Travis Arthur and Marco Swift, your safeties for the Desperados. Chance for Pierce. Pierce to the outside, puts it into Jones' hands again, tries a spin, and he will get taken down regardless at about the 15-yard line. 3rd down coming up here for the Ramblers.
Yeah, good stop by Marco Swift there on the halfback Brad Jones on that little swing pass. It's going to set Indy up, though, in Desperado territory here incredibly quickly.
That's Jeff Banfield, bottom of your screen. Doesn't matter, it's a handoff. They tried the sweep again. This time it did not work. As nice work by the defensive line of Tulsa to get home and cause them to probably attempt a field goal here. It's Jaden Swift.
Yeah, just some great penetration by Jaden Swift. The offensive line just didn't even block him. I wonder if it was a blown assignment, perhaps. And Indy, after a very quick drive, is going to have to settle for 3 here.
They were moving down the field pretty nicely, but instead it is not going to go their way, at least on this occasion. Chance for the kicker to bring this one in. It's Larry Barr. He's got the left hash mark. Kick is up and on the way. It is up, and it is through from 34. So Indianapolis takes a 3-0 lead over the Desperados, who have yet to see the field on offense. They'll get their opportunity here in just a moment.
Yeah, and Larry Barr has a very interesting kicking style. We usually see kickers take a couple more steps back and maybe a handful off to the side, but Larry Barr just lines up straight, maybe 1 or 2 steps back, and is able to kick these long bombs.
We saw that previous back a long time ago. Gabriel Manning has it at the 5. He'll bring it up, returnable to the 20, to the 25, to the 27-yard line, and he is stopped there. We saw that a lot in the older years of the SFL, and a lot of kickers have gotten away from that, but he's one of the ones that's kept it around, talking about Larry Barr. But let's talk about the Tulsa offense. They come out, JQ, the quarterback, led by flanked by Douglas Brown and Justin Williams, your halfback fullback combo, as they start out in the single back with 2 to the left. Q has the ball. He stays in the pocket. He's going to evade a sack here, get it out to his last option. That's Douglas Brown off to the left. Good coverage downfield. Brown could go nowhere with it. He'll lose one, but it's better than it could have been.
Yeah, not a lot of anything really developing for Q downfield. Good composure in order to avoid that sack and able to get the ball off. Unfortunately, still going to be a 1-yard loss, but much better than it could have been, as you said, with Q avoiding that.
Corey Jones, top of your screen. Gabriel Manning, bottom of your screen. They'll go Jones' way. He's going to catch this and fall to the turf. He'll get touched, and it's DJ Hume, apologies, on that grab, and that is going to be 3rd down coming for the Desperados.
Yeah, Hume comes in on a bit of a drag route inside. The linebacker's just not really there in coverage, is what allows Hume to grab that ball and set up this medium yardage 3rd down here for Tulsa.
Lots of options here. They send both backs to the flats. That should be a 1st down, and it is. And that will be out to the sideline. Douglas Brown, positive yardage on this reception. 1st and 10 for Tulsa.
Yeah, and much needed positive yardage for that. The first grab attempt, or caught by Douglas Brown, a bit of a last-ditch effort from Q just to get the ball away. This one, he's able to allow the play to develop more, hit Brown on the swing pass, and Douglas Brown doing what he does best, pushing forward for 1st down yardage.
Split backs again for Tulsa. Q is under center. Looks to throw it. Goes up top, tipped in, incomplete. There were 3 Ramblers in that immediate area, and they finally hit the ball down. Ernest McCray Sr. gets up to make that stop.
Yeah, that pass, I believe, intended for Corey Jones.
Yep.
Unfortunately, McCray Sr. just able to jump the route completely. The ball perhaps a bit underthrown there by JQ.
Nice work by McCray, though, to be honest with you. He's not duped by the crossing routes in front of him. Both Hume and Corey Jones tried to cross routes and get the cornerbacks to follow one or the other. Neither one did what they were supposed to do to let the offense be successful there. Looking to throw it. That's deep over the middle and incomplete, as that one will hit the turf harmlessly after 3 different Ramblers had their hands on it. It is 3rd down and 10, and Gabriel Manning, your intended target.
Yeah, Gabriel Manning gets his first target there. We take a look at Blake Prine, who was a part of that comeback last week. 50-yard pick 6 in the 4th quarter. Prine, of course, coming over in the offseason to Indianapolis from the Fort Worth Toros.
See if we can get the rest of the defense called out here in just a second. Shotgun play. Jones top of your screen, Manning bottom of your screen again in the sack. He evades a second sack and a third one comes in and it takes him down finally. That is a big play defensively to get the stop. 4th down coming and Tulsa will punt.
Yeah, that's an absolutely massive sack there for Indianapolis. That was the backup defensive end Takuma Sato on the actual sack there. But credit to Corey Dobbins, the defensive tackle, as well.
And it is going to be Rockefeller who returns it a couple yards and gets broken down at about the 32-yard line. So here comes the Ramblers again on offense as they bring out their unit. It is Colin Pierce one more time. Jones behind him. A decent drive that stalled out and ended up in a field goal after at the end of the first drive. See what they have for us on the second one. It is Ryan Roosevelt, top of your screen. Jeff Banfield, bottom of your screen for the Ramblers. Looking to throw it over the top. Looking for Roosevelt, and that's going to be hit to the ground. Did not happen, as that one will be dropped to the turf. Good work, 2nd down.
Yeah, very similar concept play that we saw Tulsa try to pull off on their last drive. Unfortunately, Tulsa prepared for it. Indianapolis not able to pull that play off themselves.
Free safety Travis Arthur gets in and makes the pass deflection there. And here come the Ramblers on 2nd down as they run looks like a weak eye. Throw right side. That one's going to be caught, and it looks like a 6-yard completion. 3rd and 4 coming, as that one is going to find Ryan Roosevelt's hands for his first catch of the ball game and gives him a 3rd and medium to work with.
Yeah, got to give credit to the patience of Colin Pierce. This Tulsa defensive line has been able to put a lot of pressure on Pierce just by pushing this offensive line back, but Pierce with the showing a lot of patience in the pocket to get these balls out to his receivers.
Chance over the top, deep and incomplete, and that's a respect throw is what that is. Pierce making Tulsa's defense think that he may go deep on him. Philadelphia Collins almost got home there, did not do it. 3rd down turns into 4th down, and the Ramblers will punt.
Yeah, Colin Pierce deciding to not take the sack and just show off a bit of his own arm cannon on that one. And unfortunate for Indy that after their very quick opening drive, they're forced to punt this one away.
Justin Reside, Nelson Lozano on stats with Deion Hawkins shadowing the stats team today. Thank you guys. Thank you, gentlemen, for being in the room with us, as that is fair caught at about the 34-yard line. But they make us seem way smarter than we actually are, folks. So definitely give some love to the stats team in chat and in the Discord when you guys get a moment. But we are underway again. Tulsa back on the field for their 2nd series. 3-0 lead for Indianapolis as we're about halfway through the 1st quarter.
Yeah, unfortunately, on that last drive of Indianapolis, Colin Pierce, only 1 of 3 in passing. He was perfect on that first drive.
Handoff. Chance for Douglas Brown. He's going to break through on a spin. Spin the 2nd time. He'll get 8 yards on that. That took way longer to develop for 8 yards than I thought it was going to, but either way it works. It's 2nd and 2.
Yeah, but that's just how Douglas Brown operates. He's a very, very patient back, able to see these lanes develop in front of him, and it doesn't always work out in his favor, but that time it does beautifully.
Brown opts to go inside, and he's close to the 1st down marker. Did not quite get it. 3rd and inches coming up as Bryant James comes up to make the hit for Indianapolis. Big 3rd down coming here for Tulsa's offense.
Yeah, and I think it's smart by Tulsa here to not challenge the spot of this ball, especially being as early in this game as we are. Realistically, we're going to see this ball to either Douglas Brown or the fullback Justin Williams for this first down conversion attempt.
Either one, I think, would be appropriate here. It is Douglas Brown. He will not get it. What a stop. It did not look like he got that. They're going to say 4th and inches, and it will remain a punt for Tulsa. Great work as Wiseman comes up to make the hit, and Tulsa will punt it away.
Yeah, Adam Wiseman, the veteran linebacker, showing some great patience on the inside there. Just absolutely stuffing that run and forcing this punt away by Tulsa.
Punt is gone to the 20-yard line. Rockefeller has it and returns it not much farther upfield to the 27. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website. Simulationfl.net is the place. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Inside Lucy Red Stadium, newly christened building. Indianapolis with their 3rd drive. Deep left side. That one is tipped, and what a defensive play to make that stop. It's Nate Heslip, who had the pick 6 last week, has a pass deflect here, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, another pass intended for Ryan Roosevelt. Again, another instance where I think Colin Pierce just underthrew that ball a bit. Either that or my eyes deceive me. Nate Heslip actually did get a hand on that ball. Either way, though, some great defending by the Desperados secondary here.
Plenty in the box defensively, and a free play again. 2nd time today. Put it in the hands of Brad Jones. He's going to get the first down, but not going to matter. He is lit up just after the first down marker, and we'll hear from R62.
Neutral zone infraction, number 52, defense, the penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be another neutral zone infraction. This one on Chris Andrews, which Indianapolis again going to decline, giving Brad Jones a 10-yard reception on that swing pass. Going to bring up 1st and 10 here for Indianapolis.
Tell you what, if I'm Brad Jones, I'm upset if they don't decline that penalty, because he took a lick from Marco Swift after that 10 yards, and he earned every one of those 10 yards.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Chance to the outside for Jones again on the swing. Spin past 1, gets hit by a 2nd. And that is the linebacker who comes up and gets him. It looks like it'll be 2nd and 2, maybe 1 on this next play.
Yeah, big heads-up play there by David Ware to prevent Brad Jones from getting another first down on the swing pass. They are going to mark it as 2nd and 2 here.
Tight end to the left. Pierce has the football. Looks to throw it. Puts it in Brown's hands once more. Plenty of room in front of him. Attempts to spin, but he's not going to spin out 2 Desperados there. It will be a 1st and 10 towards midfield, and they're moving the ball with the help of their running game from Brad Jones.
Yeah, this drive has been the Brad Jones show. That's the 3rd straight dump-off pass to the halfback, and all 3 times Tulsa hasn't really been able to defend it much close up. They've had to. It could be that Tulsa is respecting what Brad Jones can do, just allowing him to get these extra yards and these swing passes. It's really hard to tell at this point.
Pierce throws it again. There is some more laundry on the field. 3rd penalty of the ball game. We're only in the 1st quarter still. And has left holding pass deflect, but yeah, I think it is in the direction of holding. Yep, offensive line holding. That's not going to be what the doctor ordered for the Ramblers, moving back 10 yards.
Yeah, that's going to be on the rookie left tackle, Jacques
Le Pancake.
Le Pancake, I see. A week 2 signing here for Indianapolis, just picked up last week. So unfortunate for him, getting called for holding is going to push them back 10 yards here.
It's one of the best offensive lineman names I think I've seen so far.
I would definitely have to agree with you on that, yeah.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. Pierce will sidearm 1 over the middle, and that is over the midfield line, but it hits the turf harmlessly. Banfield, your intended target, ends up hitting the grass, nothing doing, and that is going to be 3rd down coming.
Yeah, and it's been difficult for Colin Pierce to really hit anyone not named Brad Jones. He's currently 3 for 8, I believe. 3 for 7, excuse me. in passes not intended for the halfback Brad Jones.
6 in the box defensively on a second down, I should say. To the outside. And wow, okay. A bit of a somersault by the running back off of the contact. It is second and still quite a lot as Brad Jones will hit the turf. And long third down coming. Not necessarily big just yet, but Tulsa's defense needs to make a stand here, and the crowd's getting loud. They know it. They want their offense on the field. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Pierce has the football, backs it up, throws over the middle, needs it. That's picked off. Back the other way. Tulsa has return room. That's going to be to the outside, and R60. Actually, one of the referees hits the turf as well. Perfectly done. It's Nate Heslep, his second pick in 2 games. Or Marco Swift, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that's actually Marco Swift, the strong safety on the reception there. Just a perfect coverage play. Again, I think that ball underthrown by Colin Pierce. Marco Swift gets a great jump on the flight of the ball and just has all kinds of room to run with some great blocking by his linebackers and defensive line. A great change of the tides here for the Desperados.
Momentum swing. Now Tulsa has a chance to get themselves on the board in a 3-0 game, closing in on the end of the first. Weak eye set. Looking to throw it to the outside. Douglas Brown, spin past 1, breaks a second, has some room to go on the sideline. He will step out of bounds towards the 20-yard line, get inside the 20, and it is a trip to the red zone for the Tulsa Desperados.
Yeah, this game definitely the tale of the 2 halfbacks here. If I recall, both of them drafted in season 18, part of the quote-unquote 4 horsemen here, as Doug Jones proving he can be just as effective as Brad Jones.
Brown has the deep back on this offset eye as well. 1st and 10, just inside the red zone. Top, looking, incomplete. Not going to happen. That is Ernest McCrae Sr. with another pass deflection as that one comes down with some help from him. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Tulsa kind of having a very similar problem to Indianapolis here. They're able to get these receptions to their halfbacks pretty consistently and able to get some great yardage out of it. The same can't be said, though, for JQ throwing to his receivers also, has only completed 1 pass to a receiver not named Douglas Brown.
Corey Jones, your intended target there. Another weak eye set. They really like this formation. Handoff, left side, gonna work the outside on the go, and that is a 1st and 10, 1st and goal, should say, as Douglas Brown finds the 8-yard line down to the 7, and Tulsa getting ever closer to getting the first touchdown of the ball game.
Yeah, and Tulsa with, again, just some great blocking all around from Justin Williams, the left tackle, Will Stevens as well, sealing that edge on the stretch play there for Douglas Brown, and Douglas Brown able to break loose and give Tulsa a chance to knock on the door here of the Ramblers end zone.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. In the gun is going to be JQ. Wants to find something. Douglas Brown is to his right. They may go his way. They will. He's going to be looking for the pylon, but the pass did not do him any favors as he is dropped near the line of scrimmage. He had to work back to catch that ball and then had to move forward, and by then the Ramblers were all over him.
Yeah, unfortunately, the pass thrown a little behind Douglas Brown there, forcing him to come back for it. Still able to turn it into positive yards despite the plethora of Ramblers defenders there, as that play's going to see us to the end of the first quarter.
1 in the books. 3-0. Not a huge score line, but the Desperados are knocking on the door at the 6-yard line, trying to take the lead in Tulsa at Lucy Red Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Chris Curtis, Aaron Alexander in the booth with you, and plenty of good football left, or so it would seem. It was a toss-up in the who you got, and right now the score line indicates that as such. In the gun is JQ from the 5 now. Has the football, backs it up, 3-step drop, throws, left corner of the end zone. That one's going to be caught, and that is a Tulsa touchdown. Perfectly done, and I believe that is Gabriel Manning who brought that one in.
Yeah, Gabriel Manning finally getting his hands on the ball after 2 failed attempts earlier in this game. And boy, is that first one a much needed one there, a 5-yard touchdown grab for one of the best pass catchers here in the SFL.
Got a feel for Dominic Matz there. He's going to lose a one-on-one 9 times out of 10 against that man. As this will be kicked by the kicker, Brooke Beisel. As Tulsa gets their first lead of the day. Extra point is up, and it is through with no problems. But second quarter now as we just get going in the second frame, and it's a 7-3 Tulsa advantage.
Yeah, and Tulsa had to absolutely work for that one. Though that one actually a shorter drive, only 5 plays for 37 yards set up by the Marco Swift extra point. Definitely felt like they had to fight for it a lot more than they did. But a great drive for Tulsa there as they come out ahead.
Rockefeller, look out here as he breaks a tackle but gets taken down at about the 32, and that is where Colin Pearson Company will start this next drive. The SFL is partnered with Rare Drop and Rare Drop Sports to advance live events and distribution. Live and in-person championship weekends, rookie drafts, and community events are all in the works. Check out SFL games on their Twitch channel Friday through Sunday evenings and follow Rare Drop Sports at twitch.tv/RD Sports. In the single back is Colin Pierce. Brad Jones, the halfback behind him. Pierce will throw over the middle. That one's caught as that was an inside slant. It looks like 1st and 10, and a good word into Ryan Roosevelt, the primary target.
Yeah, a great route by Roosevelt there, and Colin Pierce with just a lot of time to get that ball into the hands of his intended target. A great start to this drive for Indianapolis.
1st and 10 at their own 45. So plenty in the box defensively. They're expecting a run as Tulsa. Pierce will throw, put it to the outside, get it in Brad Jones' hands. He's going to break one. He'll try to put a shoulder into the second one. He'll be dropped short of the first down marker. 2nd and inches for Brad Jones, who's had a pretty good receiving day, as has Douglas Brown on the other side.
Yeah, and honestly, that was a great play call by the Ramblers coaching staff. Lines up in the power I formation. Mostly we'll see a lot of runs out of that one, but Indy goes with a pass and it pays dividends.
And there's another run for Brad Jones as he moves it up the middle, 1st and 10. He's had a pretty decent day so far, as has Jones. 30 yards on 5 attempts unofficially, but he's had some pretty good receptions. He's got 6 receptions already. We're only in the second quarter.
Yeah, currently Brad Jones, a total of 70 yards here this one, and we're only just beginning the second quarter here. A great day for him so far in this game.
See if they can continue that. Looking to throw it. Pierce to the right. That's a catch. We're looking out, and that is going to be more yards to go as he gets just outside the 20-yard line, knocked out at the 22, and that is the tight end Randy Pierce who brings that one in. It's Colin to Randy, and it's Marco Swift who puts him out of bounds.
Yeah, Colin Pierce feeling a lot of pressure from the Tulsa defensive line there. But again, the veteran presence of Colin Pierce able to get that ball away into the hands of his tight end, who takes them to the edge of the Tulsa red zone here.
2 to the left, 1 to the right, 2 in the backfield for Pierce. Just outside the red zone. They can take a shot at the end zone if they wanted. That's incomplete, nearly picked off. Oh, man, I believe that's DeMora who come up to make that stop. And that is 2nd and 10. No,
yeah,
Gibson.
I was going to say Miles Gibson in the area of that one as well. And Colin Pierce playing with a bit of fire. He's already thrown 1 interception this game. This drive, he's really stepped up, got his composure back after throwing that pick. That one, very, very dangerous for the Ramblers offense.
Nearly a problem there. Strong eye look from the Ramblers. That's going to be through the middle. Nothing doing. And that's going to be a stop as Brad Jones will to get basically nowhere. They'll give him a yard.
Yeah, the Desperados stacking the box. I believe that was actually a blitz that they called there on that one. And unfortunately, Brad Jones just nowhere to go. All of the holes basically plugged up by Desperados.
Pierce to throw. Looks over the top. That one's caught. First down and goal as that one looks like Banfield had to look his way back, an underthrown ball. Great adjustment from Banfield to come back to it.
Yeah, another inside slant route. Unfortunately, with the way Pierce threw that ball, if Banfield didn't hit that little stutter step, he would have actually overrun the pass. So great awareness by Banfield there to set up Indianapolis with 1st and goal.
Eighth play of the drive right here. That's through the middle and nothing doing. Brad Jones is going to get a couple of yards, maybe down to the 6-yard line, and more opportunities for Tulsa to maybe make a stand here as it's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that one a very, very tough run by Brad Jones. Unfortunately, only able to get about a yard on that one, but still a decent look here for Indianapolis.
Pierce over the top, back of the end zone. He's got it. That's a Ramblers touchdown. Perfectly done, and it caps off a 9-play drive for Indianapolis. It's Randy Pierce, the tight end.
Yeah, the son to the father on that one, and again, just another great floater from Colin Pierce to his tight end, and Indianapolis, after some early struggles, find themselves back in the lead again, answering the Desperado touchdown.
Perfectly done. Larry Barr coming on for the extra point. 9 plays, 64 yards, longest drive of the day from either squad, as the Ramblers get it done, and they're scoring. They're got to be happy with their scoring output, at least so far in this game, as at this point they had 3 points in the win against Canton 1 week ago.
Yeah, and already in these first 2 quarters, they've already outscored the entirety of their first half last week. So Indianapolis definitely, at least here early on, bouncing back from the early game struggles of that game against Canton in a big way here.
Larry Barr boots it into the air, and Gabriel Manning will have a chance to return this from the 2. Out to the 20, right at the 20-yard line to the 23, and he's going to get taken down there. You got to bottle him up quick. He can be a one-man quick strike offense. Talking about Gabriel Manning. The SFL produces over 400 live events each year, but don't miss community content creators and their creation. Catch SFL Nights with AJ Stryker, Say It With Your Chest, Netma, and more, covering season 19 and beyond. To check out archived versions of some community shows, visit simulationfl.net and click the logo of your favorite form of SFL entertainment on our homepage. In the gun. Back to it. Ready to go. This will be a throw over the top. That one is incomplete. Nearly intercepted again, but nothing doing on this play, as this one will be Rockefeller over the middle.
Yeah, Rockefeller in coverage there on Gabriel Manning, the 2 return specialists for these teams.
Yeah.
Showing up on opposite sides of the ball here, and Kanye Rockefeller gets the best of Gabriel Manning on that one.
Yeah, I expect to see probably more of that matchup going forward. 2 to the left, 1 to the right, 2 in the backfield for JQ. Hand off through the middle. It is Douglas Brown. He's going to get taken down. Forward progress will give him a 4-yard gain, and Adam Wiseman comes up and makes a nice hit on him to bring him down.
Yeah, Adam Wiseman already showing some great production in this one. As we saw there, 3 total tackles, 2 for loss already. So a great outing for the veteran inside linebacker here early on for Indianapolis.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Q with a 7-step drop. Has to evade a sack. He's not going to do it. The Ramblers are going to get back to him, and a heck of a loss on that. Makes it 4th and a mile. A punt coming for Tulsa. Exactly what the Ramblers wanted.
Yeah, a big sack there by Derek Genko, assisted by Chris Joseph, the defensive end. And unfortunately, the play just didn't have enough time to develop for JQ. The offensive line just kind of fell apart there. And a big 10-yard sack between Genko and Joseph.
Houston and Atlanta getting underway on the SFL's Twitch channel. That's happening. That was nearly blocked. That was dangerous. Back deep to return it is Rockefeller. He's going to get to midfield and no further than that. Stopped at the midfield line. We'll give you updates on the Swarm and the Headhunters if you're keeping it here all the rest of this game, and then we can pop over all together to the Hive to finish up that game a little bit later. 1st and 10 for the Ramblers They have a chance to take a 2-possession lead for the first time in this game. Jones, pretty good on the ground so far, 43 yards on 7 attempts on the ground, but his main value has been through the air tonight. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Pierce has the football, looks to throw it, and that is incomplete. Nice tipped ball, and that was perfectly done to knock it down to the turf.
Yeah, a great job by the backup cornerback Lee Palmer there. Again, just able to jump the route. Colin Pierce just, I don't know if it's just not his day. Some of these passes he's thrown have just felt a bit lazy, and that has resulted in some near interceptions here by the Desperados defense.
2 to the right in the gun. Looking to throw. He's going to get taken down. They're going to say, I believe it is an incomplete pass, 3rd and 10, as the linebacker got to him. The ball, his arm was moving forward. Didn't look like he got rid of it at the time, but either way.
Yeah, that was the defensive tackle, actually, Mark Mello, with the pressure there. Colin Pierce just barely able to get that ball forward out of his hands after the pump fake, but able to do so, which is why that counted as an incomplete pass.
Correction, Mike Mello there on that stop. That's going to be over the middle, and that is an incomplete pass again. Another pass deflection as that one hits the turf harmlessly. 4th down coming, and the Desperados will punt.
Yeah,
Or the Ramblers will punt.
Credit that pass deflection to the inside linebacker, Miles Gibson. He's got his 2nd now. As, Indianapolis going to be forced to punt this one away. This has been a very, very back and forth one so far. Pretty much exactly what the who you got for this week expected out of this one.
3-point spread right now, as this one will be fair caught at about the 16-yard line. Gabriel Manning there waiting on it, and he'll actually give him the 17 on that fair catch. So the Desperados back on the field. Think about the Desperados offense as they are one quick strike away from taking this lead right back. They have Corey Jones, they have Gabriel Manning, both of which are deep ball threats, and they have a quarterback in JQ who can get it to him, along with a running back who can put the long runs together as well. They just got to put it together on offense, and Indianapolis not letting them do that so far. This will be Q, left side, towards the sideline, and that is incomplete based on out of bounds. Manning can't believe he didn't get the footwork in.
Yeah, a bit of a deeper out route there by Gabriel Manning. Unfortunately, not able to keep the feet in bounds. Unfortunately, that ball thrown just a little too far out of Gabriel Manning's grasp in order for him to remain in bounds with that grab. But
didn't quite work out to their specifications here. This is a near side formation. Handoff, Douglas Brown. He's going to put a shoulder into one, break through one, and get 3rd and inches. I would dare say that spot's a little bit off, and he probably should have the first down, but it's 3rd and inches instead.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you. It looks like the refs being a little generous, the Ramblers away with that ball spot, but a much more manageable 3rd down situation here for Tulsa after that incomplete pass.
Another near side formation, handoff, plenty of room. This is the first down, no doubt. Great hesitation to the outside, tries to break through 2 Ramblers, and he'll get all the way down to the 42-yard line as a great run from Douglas Brown puts them with a new set. And he has been very, very good when called upon for the Desperados.
Yeah, absolutely. Douglas Brown showing more of his agility here on this one. Again, between the blocks from the offensive line plus the agility with that hesitation move by Douglas Brown, this run game for Tulsa, if not kept in check, can be very, very dangerous.
Looks like 60 all-purpose yards right now for Douglas Brown. This will be a chance for Q. That is picked off! It's almost like you didn't even see the linebacker sitting there. That is nice work with the hands. 1st and 10 for the Ramblers, as that will go the other way.
Yeah, that one, the strong safety, Bryant James, in a bit of a short zone here, and JQ just throws it directly into his hands. I don't know if JQ saw a different jersey there, but the 1st round pick out of San Jose picks the ball off there, and if I'm not mistaken,
might be his first.
It's his 2nd actually on the season.
Fair enough. That is a run that goes absolutely nowhere from Brad Jones. Berto DeMora comes up and makes the stop. Yeah, that's a gamble play on defense. If you are Indianapolis, you have the safety come up and play that short zone, but it also means that as a cornerback, you don't have help over the top. And with Brian James sitting there, standing there, stock still, it's harder to see him when they're standing stock still as a quarterback. Great work. This will be a chance for Jones. Left side, spin move on back to the inside, and you'll get a few more back. Make it 3rd and 3 for Jones, who's doing good work on the Indianapolis side.
Yeah, great run there by Jones. And back to your point, yeah, it's as a quarterback, I think it's a bit of a hidden in plain sight type of situation with that interception. Just kind of blended into the field because he's not moving.
Exactly. Shotgun play for Pierce here. Not quite in field goal range. Plenty of time in the pocket. He finds a target over the middle of the field. Down to about the 17-yard line. Absolutely on point. The dot from Colin Pierce.
Yeah, got to give credit to the offensive line allowing Colin Pierce the time to see the routes develop downfield. And yet again, we see the Pierce-to-Pierce connection go for big yardage here for the Ramblers as they find themselves again here in the Tulsa red zone.
3 in the backfield. Look at a throw to the outside. Put it in Jones' hands. Has some room to go. A spin attempt. It's going to get him to about the 11-yard line. They'll say the 12. He's short of the first down marker, but they're in the red zone again. And Brad Jones been doing work for the Ramblers offense.
Yeah, and another one of those plays here for Indianapolis where they go into a run-heavy setup in the power I, but instead throw out a little swing pass to the halfback, and they're just 2 yards away from getting a goal to go.
And this is a chance to the outside again. Jones with some room to go. He's got the first down, though. That's exactly what they wanted. At least get them to 1st and goal and give them a legitimate shot to cap off a beautiful drive so far that started on their side of midfield.
Yeah, Brad Jones definitely has been the favorite target of Colin Pierce here. Going into this game, he was 14 receptions on 14 targets. He's got 8 receptions already on the day here. The halfback putting in great work.
6th play of the drive for the Ramblers. That's a handoff. Jones goes nowhere this time. Great job by Tulsa to get through the line and get themselves home as the defensive line does the work. And they will find themselves 2nd and goal.
Yeah, credit Jaden Swift there. I believe that may actually been a tackle for loss as we hit the 2-minute warning.
120 seconds left to halftime in Tulsa and Lucy Red Stadium. But Indianapolis knocking on the door as Tulsa backs up to their end zone. Chris Curtis, Aaron Alexander, 2 minutes to halftime as Tulsa trying to keep the Ramblers out of the end zone and keep this a 1-possession ball game if they can. Pierce in the gun, throws, top of your screen, that is caught, and that's a Ramblers touchdown one more time. This one's Jeff Banfield.
Yeah, another out route that is just so difficult to really defend here. Tulsa playing a bit of a zone, Banfield with absolutely no one covering the end zone on his side of the field, and that's just too easy for Colin Pierce to lob that one to his receiver. A great play by the Ramblers to give them a potential 10-point lead here.
Set up by a pass over the middle to Randy Pierce that put him near the red zone or in the red zone. That caps off a 7-play, 50-yard drive that ends up in an extra point. 17-7 as Larry Barr puts it through, and the Ramblers have a 10-point lead on Tulsa. Remember, Tulsa does get the ball at the start of the second half, so this becomes a pretty crucial drive for them to maybe get 2 for 1 on these 2 possessions.
Yeah, got to give credit for the start of that last drive to the rookie strong safety, Bryant James, with a very, very key interception there that set up the initial field position in order for Indianapolis to put that drive together.
Gabriel Manning back with the return and gets it to about the 27-yard line. They'll say the 26. So out comes JQ and company. They have all 3 timeouts to work with. So they have some time and some 3 stoppages to make it happen. But they don't want to take all the time in the world and give Indy back the ball. They want to be able to do their thing, and Q is going to hit the turf. The Ramblers defensive line been getting home a lot, and that is a sack for the Ramblers D line. Second and a lot.
Yeah, it's Derek Jenko getting his second sack, assisted by the defensive end, Rocco Rossi. And Indianapolis just seems to have the number of this Tulsa passing game.
And there's a free play. That's over the middle, and that one is caught. And I believe they will probably take the yards here, I would assume, as Jim Copeland Jr. brings that one in the other tight end. Let's see what R62 has to say.
Going to be a neutral zone infraction on Derek Jenko. A little bit too antsy after that sack. They are going to decline it, though. Take the 16-yard pass to the tight end, Jim Copeland Jr. Going to bring up third down and short here for the Desperados.
And now here we go, because this becomes a pretty big third down to end the first half. If they can get this to a first down, they still have all 3 timeouts. They have not used one as of yet. Single back for JQ. Goes short, has the first down. That's forward progress at least, and they'll work the no huddle to see if they can get a quick and easy couple of yards on this. Same formation. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Q backs it up, 5-step drop over the middle. That one's tipped, and it'll hit the ground. A little bit of hot potato. Bryant James in the area again.
Yeah, a bit of another little tip drill there by Indianapolis. Unfortunately, none of the white Ramblers jerseys able to get their hands on it. Neither is the intended target for the Desperados, as JQ has been having a rough time of it out in the passing game.
3 to your left, 1 to your right for JQ. Top of the screen is Gabriel Manning. Oh, dangerous time, and Indianapolis is going to get home one more time. Tulsa is going to call a timeout as well, as that forces a long third down. They may get this ball back before the end of the half.
Yeah, and that's a technical hat trick there for the defensive tackle, Derek Jenko, as he picks up his first solo sack of the ball game. And yeah, the Ramblers have just been all over JQ, especially here in the second quarter.
Corey Jones, bottom of your screen. Gabriel Manning, top of your screen. 3 out to your right, 1 to your left. Q throws over the middle. That one is incomplete. I think that one was overthrown. Not going to work, as that one will be 4th down, and an incomplete pass stops the clock. That is going to give the Ramblers back the football before this half is done.
Yeah, overthrown and off the chest of a Ramblers defender. An unfortunate end of this drive for Tulsa that at points looked to, be pulling together at least a little bit. But yeah, unfortunately for Tulsa, this Ramblers defense, has just had JQ's number.
JQ was your intended target. There, the ball's on the ground. Oh, did Tulsa pick this up? If it is, it'll be a massive momentum swing, and it looks like they do. Oh, what a turnover there. Kanye Rockefeller kicking himself right now.
Yeah, a very rare mistake from the 14-season veteran in Kanye Rockefeller, and a absolutely huge break for the Desperados, whose special teams come up big and actually bring the ball forward for their offense.
And now, empty backfield, empty set for JQ. Has some time to work with, still 3 timeouts. Looking to throw over the middle. That one is incomplete, as it looks like they weren't quite looking for it. Joseph in the area as well, and it is 2nd and 10.
Yeah, got to give big props to JQ on that one, though. He had 2 big defensive linemen coming directly at him, able to make one miss, and gets the ball away before the second can get to him. A much-needed breath for JQ on that one. 2
to the left, 1 to the right. This will be an attempt to throw to the outside. Puts it in Douglas Brown's hand and Brown's hands, and he will be forced out of bounds to stop the clock. 3rd and 7 for Tulsa.
Yeah,
great time still.
Yeah, great decision by JQ on that one to throw it to Douglas Brown, who's able to step out of bounds, allows Tulsa to stop the clock without using one of their timeouts. They're definitely still capable of making this a one-score game here. We've seen time and time again Corey Jones, Gabriel Manning just able to get open on these really, really deep balls, and we know that JQ has the arm strength.
He does indeed. Manning is top of your screen. He looks like he's going to run an inside slant. He'll get the ball here. Nice spin. Has a first down. This is where they're going to call a timeout. And they do. Tulsa down to one timeout left. And they have a chance here in long field goal range to at least do something to get some points on the board.
Yeah, instead of sending Gabriel Manning deep, they send him on a bit of a medium in route there. And JQ with just the perfect touch on that one to get it into Manning's hands. A much needed first down. Morale booster here for Tulsa.
Looking for it. This will be over the middle. That one is caught. They'll run a no huddle. That's an 8-yard completion, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, that went to the fullback, Justin Williams.
First time we called his name tonight. That's over the top. That one's caught. Gabriel Manning down to the 5, and that's where they call their last timeout. And that should probably be where they bring out Brooke Beisel if they choose to, but they can also take a shot at the end zone if they want.
Oh, goodness gracious. I think you can afford to take a bit of a risk with a short yardage pass play, especially.
Okay.
They're not going to. They definitely had the opportunity to if they wanted to, especially with the receiving core that they have. But I think it's a lot smarter by Tulsa here to take the field goal by Brooke Beisel in order, especially since they get the ball back to start the second half.
Exactly. Yeah, getting yourself potentially 10 points out of 2 possessions is better than getting yourself potentially 7. And so that definitely is the right way to go. Brooke Beisel puts in a 22-yard chip shot and makes it a 1-possession game once more. So 11 seconds left on the clock, and roughly 10 actually, as Indianapolis will likely get this return off, but not much more than that. We may see Brad Jones run it once before the end of it, but we are underway again as this ball is in the air. Returnable for Rockefeller. He's going to be holding on tight to the ball here. I have a feeling a spin move, and the ball's on the ground again. No way. Tulsa picks it up again, and they're going to have a chance to add more points before the end of the half one more time.
I was just thinking about what would happen if Kane Rockefeller is able to break one here to end the second half, and it looked like he was going to. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened there. Just a case of Butterfingers by the veteran free safety and return man for Indianapolis. And Tulsa now with 5 seconds left to go have a chance to potentially... Well, they're not going to try the end zone again. They're still going to bring out Brooke Beisel here, which, again, I think is the right call.
Yeah, I mean, why not at this point? This is 3 free points, essentially. A 44-yard attempt from the middle of the hash marks is up, and it is through from Brooke Beisel. And I believe, going back to that fumble real quick, I believe that was the ball getting punched out on the tackle. I want to go back if we can eventually. Maybe we'll get some info from HQ and see who actually punched that ball out. But either way, that was massive.
Yeah, I actually did get the number of the one who punched it. I didn't realize it was a punch out at first, but that was the backup outside linebacker Rich Newton.
Okay.
Making a big play on special teams for Tulsa.
Yeah, I believe it was a punch out that caused that fumble on the second one. And this is going to be Rockefeller for the 3rd time. Oh, man. Okay. No, he's got some return room, and out of bounds he will go. And everybody in Indianapolis breathing a sigh of relief that gets us to the halftime whistle after that return. Rockefeller is cursing his ancestors right now. There's no doubt about that. 17-13, though, Indianapolis still holds on to the lead at the end of this first half. Aaron Alexander, let's break down a fairly eventful first half in what's been basically a toss-up game.
Yeah, early on, it's been a bit of a struggle in the pass game for JQ and this Desperado team. 12 completions on 21 attempts, only 4.3 yards average in the pass game. 1 touchdown, 1 TD though, so a net 0 touchdown to interception ratio, QBR of 63.6. The offense has been the Douglas Brown show for the Desperados. He's got just under 90, or just at 90, excuse me, all-purpose yards. Brad Jones on the other side, pretty much the same scenario for him. For the Ramblers, Colin Pierce has been the better of the two quarterbacks. He's got a QBR of 91 with a two touchdown, one interception ratio with 65% completion. And honestly, it's been the defenses that have been the big catalysts for both of these teams. For Indianapolis, it was the interception by Bryant James. For Tulsa, it's been the two forced fumbles on special teams that are the reason that this game is as close as it is. And Tulsa, coming out of halftime, has a chance to come to take the lead on their first drive here if things go their way.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They have a chance to come back after now being down 4 points and come back and take the lead for the first time in this football game. Randy Pierce, got to talk about him. He is the leading receiver of all of the receivers and tight ends so far. 4 catches, 59 yards unofficially so far, and he has the touchdown in the back of the end zone as well. As we welcome you back in to Lucy Red Stadium here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Visit Lucy Red Energy Drink at lucyred.com and see why the energy is amazing. Chris Curtis, Aaron Alexander in the booth with you. Justin Reside, Nelson Lozano on stats, along with Dion Hawkins shadowing those two as they make us sound way smarter than we actually are. We invite you to hashtag make an impact if you're new to the SFL. Make a player. Get yourself involved. Simulationfl.net for more information, and join the Discord where 1,500 plus people are happily involved in this league as well. We are at the 7-yard line. Chance for Gabriel Manning to start a spark on a return, and he'll get back to about the 35-yard line, and that is where the Desperados will start this first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and I've got to give credit to Tulsa's front office. This rebrand to Lucy Red Stadium has been perfect. Their first home game in their new home stadium has been absolutely electrifying, at least here in the first half.
Would you say they have a new energy? This will be over the middle. That one's caught. First down and more to the midfield stripe. No further than that. And JQ starts off the second half real well with a nice pass over the middle.
Yes, especially with a pass like that to Corey Jones. The Desperados definitely much more energized between the great plays by their special teams unit and the halftime break here. A great start to this first half by JQ and this Desperados offense.
I may be a little bit biased, but as far as the caffeine-giving and energy-giving drinks, I think Kings Coast Stadium out in Vancouver may be a little bit more of a light. But either way, what do you want? That's a little bit of bias showing from my Vancouver brethren, and that's going to be a nice pass to the right. Both of them, very, very nice as far as bringing them into the league. That's going to be Gabriel Manning on the short throw, and it'll be a 2nd and 4 coming.
Yeah, it's been interesting in this one to see Tulsa utilize Gabriel Manning more in the short to medium yardage space, as opposed to what we will typically see out of him, which is these long streak routes. But it's been working out for Tulsa so far.
Ooh, that's a close. They're going to give him the first down. Douglas Brown absolutely fought his way forward, gets the first down marker, and it's a new set for Tulsa as they move past midfield.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of the few times I agree with the referee staffing here that was the right spot to that ball. Douglas Brown clearly across the first down marker on that one with forward progress.
I formation, 2 to the right, 1 to the left for JQ. This will be a handoff through the middle. He's got a couple of yards going forward, and that'll be a 2-yard run. That gets him out to about the 38-yard line as Douglas Brown, couple of yards, couple of crucial yards on the play before this, couple more added on this. There looks like Indianapolis is going to make him fight.
Yeah, and Justin Williams, the fullback, able to open up a great hole for Douglas Brown. Unfortunately, the Ramblers just able to close it up too quickly for Douglas Brown to really break anything out.
Looking to throw it, pump fake, throwing again. This one is incomplete. And that one should have been caught, but instead the tight end, I believe that's Jim Copeland. Nope, that's not. That's either way. It's not going to happen as it'll hit the ground harmlessly.
Yeah, that's the backup tight end, Amanda Christie. Not able to get their hands around that one. It's going to bring up a long third down situation here for Tulsa. Definitely not what they wanted to see here at this point in their drive coming out of the half.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. Another single back. Q. 4 on the defensive line. See if they send any extra help. They do not. Plenty of defensive back. That's over the top. That's going to be caught, and it is a touchdown. Oh, it's Corey Jones. Look at him go. The Desperados on 2 possessions end up with, 13 points, and they have themselves their first lead of the day.
Yeah, and that's what we expect to see out of Tulsa. Corey Jones beats his man. That was Ernest McCray Sr., the corner, that unfortunately Corey Jones was able to blitz past, and a great ball from JQ. Again, we've seen that he has the arm for these type of passes, and Tulsa now, as I said, comes at a halftime with looking at a 1-score lead here with just 2 minutes into the third quarter.
An extra point from Beisel, slow developing, but she does get it off, and then is up, and it is through. That was very scary if you are the holder of that ball. Either way, it is now a 20-17 game as Tulsa has their first lead of the day.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Curtis, with how we've seen special teams, especially in this one, between the close, the nearly blocked field goal that we just extra point that we just saw, some of the nearly blocked punts that we've seen, I'm feeling it, especially since I've seen it the last 2 weeks too. We're gonna see a blocked punt at some point. I don't know if it's gonna be in this one, but I'm telling you, it's coming.
Yeah, it's definitely the averages are against it. The averages are for it at this point. Rockefeller holds on to this one and gets it out to the 36-yard line. And that's where the Ramblers will start. Sorry, 26 line. That's where the Ramblers will start. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, and it is going to be Colin Pierce in the gun. He's got Brad Jones to his left. Looking to throw it. Over the top. Got a catch. That's going to be towards the midfield line. Stopped at the 48. And that's Jeff Banfield who brings that one in. And a good long play to start this drive for Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indianapolis showing that they have a very similar connection that they can utilize. This one, Colin Pierce to Jeff Banfield, and just a nice inside post route by Banfield. And again, another great throw from Colin Pierce. Sets the Ramblers up just outside of Tulsa territory.
Single back, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. 6 in the box defensively for Tulsa. Looking to throw it. That is a nice seam to catch that ball in. Hard to believe that one actually got caught. It's Ryan Roosevelt who brings it in over the middle of the field. 1st and 10, and they're well within Tulsa territory.
Yeah, credit to the vision of Ryan Roosevelt there to see that ball coming his way and just snatch it out of the open arms of the defender there. And Indy now is starting to roll in here on their own drive here early in the third.
And it's going to be a chance. Sidearm throw, tipped and incomplete. Couple of times that he's gone sidearm in this game, and Marco Swift is in the area defensively, but a couple of diving attempts over the middle does not warrant results.
Yeah, a little too hot on the mustard for that ball. Unfortunately, the tight end Randy Pierce not able to get his hands on it. A lucky break though for Indianapolis that one's not picked off after being tipped by his own receiver.
If you're gonna throw it like that, at least overthrow it, and he did just that. Just overthrow it a lot. Split backs. Throwing right side. That one is caught, hitting the turf and getting contacted down. And it is going to at least end up being a 5-yard completion for Williams.
Yeah, Ed Williams getting his first grab of the ball game. Sets up a much more manageable third down situation here for Indianapolis. They are in Larry Barr range, I believe.
Yeah, just at the precipice of it. Throwing on the run. That one's caught, and a great catch broken tackle to the house, end zone touchdown. Indianapolis answers with a touchdown of their own. It's Randy Pierce's second of the day.
Yeah, it's the Pierce to Pierce connection yet again that pays absolute money here for the Indianapolis Ramblers. Pierce able to break out of a tackle too, and also credit to Colin Pierce, able to evade at least one, if not two sacks on that one, and it's starting to turn into a shootout here in Tulsa, Curtis.
Yeah, I mean, if there's ever a place to have a shootout, Tulsa, Oklahoma seems like it might be the place, as we look like a possible 4-point deficit as Larry Barr lines up the extra point. Snap is good. Hold good. Kick up and on the way. It is up, and it is through. 24-20. The Ramblers have come back to take the lead one more time, and they'll kick the ball off to Gabriel Manning, who is one good spin move and good run away from maybe quick striking the Desperados back in front. We've seen it before. See what he can do with it. Hand is in the air. Here we go. Manning from his own 9 to the 20, right at the 25 to the 30. He's going to get to the outside. Oh, no. One spin move, and there it is. Oh, man. To the house. Touchdown, Gabriel Manning. And I feel like a prophet, but it was him that did all the work. The Desperados are back in front.
Yeah, there is a reason that Gabriel Manning is the best return man in SFL history, and that just goes to show it right there. Great vision, able to see the lane open up in front of him, gets a big spin move around the kicker, and after Barr's out of the way, it's just completely open space for Gabriel Manning, and in an instant, the momentum shifts back the Desperados' way.
Absolutely incredible. Hello, SFL top 10 plays. How you doing? It is a touchdown, and Tulsa is going to get themselves an extra point chance for Brooke Bison.
That one, again, if I'm not mistaken, marks Gabriel Manning's 20th return touchdown in his career, which is currently first in SFL, in the SFL record books.
Unreal. And the Ramblers are going to get this ball back. Kanye Rockefeller's got to be shaking his head. He did that, and I've been doing this. We'll see how that goes.
Watch Rockefeller comes on this kick return and does the same thing.
That'd be nice. That'd be fantastic. One spin move and he's gone again. Special teams, the order of the day in Oklahoma. Kick is up and gone from Beisel. Returnable from just inside the end zone for Rockefeller. Out to the 10 to the 20, and it'll get taken down at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Ramblers.
Yeah, couldn't be on that one, unfortunately, for Rockefeller. Beisel just kicked that one a bit too deep into the end zone, I think, for Rockefeller to really be able to get a good return, but is going to set up some okayed field position here for the Ramblers to try and strike back after the Manning return touchdown.
After Gabriel Manning does Gabriel Manning things, I think is what we can call that. That's going to be a throw over the top from Pierce, tipped and incomplete. Another dangerous ball. Ryan Roosevelt intended target. Nothing doing there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, I wasn't joking around when I called it a shootout, and it's not just the offense and the special teams that are shooting out. It's these defenses too, threatening with these interceptions, these close tip balls that just barely don't find the hands of either its intended target or a defender.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Colin Pierce, as Brad Jones, are going to give it to him. He's going to work the inside, and he will have himself a nice run on a strong ISO. Looks like 3rd and 3 coming up here on the other side of this, but good work on the ground from Brad Jones to make it manageable.
Feels like it's been a while since we've called the name of a running back on the ground that hasn't been like a swing pass outside. Good to see Brad Jones can still rush with the best of them in this one.
Chance for Pierce. Right side, puts it in Jones' hands, but he's not able to lead Jones on the throw, and it will be 4th down. Indianapolis will likely punt it away.
Yeah, big 3 and out here for the Desperados defense. A much needed one after the fire starter that was that Manning return. And the Manning has a chance to return a punt here, but that's a lot tougher than a kick return.
If one is good, more is better, though. High snap on the punt. Decent hang time. Should be about 4 seconds or so. 4.2. Spin move for Manning. He breaks out of 1, but then 2 Ramblers are right on his case. They'll take him down. But decent field position for the Desperados as they have a chance to make this a 2-possession game for the first time today.
Yeah, and it's mainly the hang time that makes punt returns so difficult, which is why, again, best returner in the SFL, arguably, Gabriel Manning only has 4 punt returns to his now 20 kick return TDs.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. To the outside, it's Douglas Brown. He's going to try to get to the sideline, but he's going to be stopped before he gets past the line of scrimmage. Great defensive pursuit by the Ramblers as they take him out of bounds.
Yeah, and it's likely to continue to be the story of this game. It's just going to be a shootout between these 2 defenses and special teams units for both Indianapolis and Tulsa as far as how the rest of this game develops.
2 in the backfield, 2 to the right, 1 to the left for JQ. 6 in the box defensively. They'll send all 6, and they are going to get Brown behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long coming up as McDevitt comes up to make the stop. That's a nice play by the defensive line, and don't look now, but Tulsa's in a spot where they could end up punting it away.
Yeah, the edge rush combo of McDevitt and Chris Joseph, they're able to get into the backfield and get the hit on Douglas Brown. Something Tulsa definitely didn't want to see there.
It'll be thrown over the middle, and that is incomplete. Nothing doing. They were looking for the play to get them the first down and more. It didn't happen, and a chance for Ham Anderson to make a play. He did that. The Ramblers are going to get this ball back.
Yeah, and actually credit Kanye Rockefeller on the coverage on the halfback, Douglas Brown there, who pops the ball out of the hands of the halfback and is going to force their own 3-and-out here on the Desperados does Indy, as we're going to see another flip of field here.
We knew this game was going to be a coin flip. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And this is exactly what it's turned into. We're not quite at the end of the 3rd yet, but a 3-point spread. And we've been in a 3-point spread for a while. This will be returnable from Rockefeller, and he's able to hold on to it at about the 25-yard line. Esports TV has partnered with the SFL to bring sim football to millions of homes over the next 2 years. ESTV is the world's first 24/7 live linear and video on-demand esports channel, available everywhere through your smart TV, on your phone, through Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and more. They could probably do smoke signals if they really wanted to. Visit estv.co to learn more about its programming and to find all the ways you can catch the SFL action on the network. Ramblers start this drive at the 25, put it in the hands of Brad Jones, and he's going to get himself 3 on the swing pass. 2nd and 7 coming up here for Indianapolis.
Yeah, decent start to this drive for the Ramblers here. A short dump off to the halfback, Brad Jones, who has been putting the absolute work in for his team in this one.
Offset I formation again. Looks like 8 in the box. To the outside. And nowhere to go. Another one taken down. Brad Jones can't go anywhere. Great defensive coverage by the Desperados, seeing where that one is headed. 3rd and long coming up here for Indianapolis. And I dare say they probably need a first down for just momentum's sake at this point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about it. Credit David Ware on the stop there. It definitely looked like that one could have gone a lot worse, though, as there was another man in the backfield.
That's the first down they needed. Great throw from Colin Pierce. Finds his target. And that is Jay Viper on the grab, I do believe, as his first catch comes through. 1st and 10 here for the Ramblers.
Yeah, you've absolutely got the right of it. Jay Viper gets his first grab, and it's one that Indianapolis desperately needed. An 8-yard grab resets the down marker, and Indianapolis looking to work this drive.
And another free play. This one's going to be a sack, but it's not going to matter. They're going to take the yards this time. 3rd time today that Tulsa's been called on a neutral zone infraction, and a big time to have it.
And I believe that's the second for Berto de Mora. He was the first one to jump off sides initially, was the first neutral zone infraction penalty for Tulsa. He picks up his second now and completely erases the hard work of that sack by, I believe, Jaden Swift, and is going to give Indianapolis a lot more breathing room here on first down.
1st and 5 in the gun. Throws right side. That one's caught. Trying to turn up field is Banfield. He is going to be stopped short of the first down marker. Make it a 2nd and 1. But that is something that will work. This is not a hugely lopsided game, so they can afford to move down the field methodically, as we haven't even hit the end of the third quarter yet.
Yeah, and I think really it's in Indianapolis' best interest to try and eat as much clock as possible, especially considering how quick Tulsa can score, especially from special teams.
To the outside. Put it in the hands of Jones, but he can't break the tackle. They needed him there, but the lead on the pass was not very good. Had to adjust to it. 3rd down and 3 as they lose 2.
Yeah, Nate Heslop with a huge stop there. A much-needed stop for Tulsa. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short after that TFL by the corner.
Crowd getting loud in Tulsa, trying to will their Desperados to a stop. Going to keep the momentum in the teal. Looking to throw it. That is tipped. It's going to drop to the ground. Incomplete. And that is going to find a 4th down. The Ramblers have a decision to make. Likely a punt coming.
Yeah, definitely not surprised if Indianapolis decides to punt this one away. A great defense, though, by Tulsa, despite the encroachment penalty earlier on, in order to stop the Ramblers from getting into their own territory and forcing the Ramblers to punt this one away.
Punt upcoming. Just shy of midfield. Back deep is Gabriel Manning. We know what he can do. He has a little bit of return room here. Gets himself going forward, 1st and 10 at about the 28-yard line. So Tulsa has a chance again to make this a 2-possession game. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Plus, features from our content team, including Swamp Talk, Power Rankings, and many more feature series. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. That's going to be to the outside. Good catch for Gabriel Manning. Tries to spin himself into a good spot, and he will find a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and something I just noticed looking at the stat sheet here, both of these quarterbacks have actually spread the ball out incredibly well. Both of them only missing a catch by one of their receiving targets. But as far as yardage goes, it's definitely Indianapolis's ball game here.
Power eye coming from Tulsa. That's going to be a run for Douglas Brown. He's got to run forward, and a 1st down out to about the 42-yard line. He's been a little bit streaky, but the yards he's getting, he is absolutely fighting for, and he's keeping the momentum on the Tulsa side.
Yeah, that one just his 11th rushing attempt on the day, but a much Tulsa needed Doug Brown to get going, and he did. He's currently got 66 yards on the ground.
That'll work. In the gun. Q, left side, and incomplete. That one was a little bit inaccurately thrown. Gabriel Manning was the intended target. The defender jumped in front of it. It hit his jersey and hit the ground.
Yeah, Dominic Match just not really in a position to really make a good play on that ball, but able to turn enough to at least prevent it from getting into the hands of its intended receiver. Is going to bring up 2nd along here for the Desperados.
Under center, 2 in the backfield. Tight end to the right for Tulsa. Another free play. Moving out of the pocket, he's got a catch, and that is going to be a long one down the right side to about the 20-yard line. Tulsa makes them pay. It'll be a decline penalty for sure, and don't look now, but Tulsa's in the red zone.
Yeah, that a neutral zone infraction on Rocco Rossi, the defensive end for the Ramblers, but of course Tulsa's going to decline this. they just got a huge bomb to the tight end, Jim Copeland Jr., and that's going to set them up deep within Indianapolis territory with a chance to try and extend this lead here as they're just outside of Indianapolis's red zone.
They can at least get 3 and require that Indianapolis get a touchdown to take the lead if that's indeed how they do it. To the outside, put it in the hands of Douglas Brown. Spin past 1. He's going to get the first down and more. Down the sideline he goes out to about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal for Tulsa, trying to put a 2-possession lead on the board at the end of the 3rd.
Yeah, and honestly, a part of me thought Douglas Brown was going to score this one. Unfortunately, the attempted tackle by Rockefeller able to force Douglas's momentum toward the sideline and forces the halfback to step out of bounds here, but not before crossing the first down marker and giving Tulsa a new set of downs here to try and cross the goal line.
Weak eye set for the Desperados. Handoff right side. Brown, end zone, touchdown! And Tulsa makes it a 2-possession game. In the lead they go at home.
Yeah, and Tulsa now is going to extend this to their own 2-score lead. And it all started at the start of the 3rd quarter with the great drive that Tulsa put together for their first, then the return touchdown by Manning, and now this one, a Douglas Brown touchdown on the ground. And Indianapolis needs to find their mojo and find it quick, as we've got just over a quarter left to go here in this one.
Liking what I'm seeing. This is going to be an extra point put up from Brooke Beisel to make this potentially a 34-24 contest. And that is indeed what we see. So a 10-point game in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Start of the 4th quarter looming. Not quite there yet, as it'll be a chance for Kanye to run this ball on the return. And every ball from here on in he's going to be holding on to for the rest of his life after the fumbles today. But he'll be back deep for the return here. That is at the goal line. Rockefeller out to the 15 to the 20. Juke at the 20 to the 22-yard line. And that is where that ends up. 1st and 10 for the Ramblers as they bring their offense back out one more time.
Yeah, the block's just not there for Rockefeller on the return, but at this point, we need to see Indianapolis put the pedal through the floor, not to the metal, through the floor, in order for them to have a chance in this one.
In the gun. Looking to throw it to the outside. That one is a jumping catch, falling to the turf is Ryan Roosevelt, and that is what's going to put the 3rd quarter to bed. In honor of Matt Wilson and in honor of Rich Pratchard, please put your 12s and 86s up in chat. We are starting the 4th quarter in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Lucy Red Stadium. It is 34-24 Tulsa after 3 quarters. It's the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Three to the left. Chance for Indianapolis to get going the other way, and that one's going to be a near sack. It didn't end up being, it looks like. Either way, it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, again, another case of Colin Pierce just throws the ball straight into the dirt as he gets hit. Gonna force it as an incomplete pass, but is gonna bring up a long 3rd down here for Indianapolis. Definitely not what they need at this point in the ball game.
Single back again. Colin Pierce has the football. Thrown, tipped, and incomplete. Defense got a hand on that to knock it down. Ryan Roosevelt, the intended target once more. 4th down, and I still think it's early enough that Indianapolis will likely punt it.
Yeah, credit Skinny Washington, the corner, on the tipped pass there. And yeah, I definitely think Indianapolis punting is the right call, especially on a 4th and 8. Not really a 4th down situation that I would necessarily try to convert if I were a coach myself. So I think bringing out the punting unit, the right call here for the Ramblers.
Punt upcoming and gone. Manning back deep for the return from the 41. He will take the ball out to about the 45-yard line and that is where he ends up. And Tulsa has the ball back in their offense's hands. This becomes an opportunity for Tulsa to start to find more separation that we have not seen a 3-possession game in this contest yet. 2 possessions been the max, and a chance for JQ and company to make that happen at home. Empty
Andy's
set.
defense.
Looking to throw it. And that's a sack, I believe it is. The Ramblers do get to him in the backfield, knocking him down. It is 2nd and 15. I believe they gave him forward progress there.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that Indianapolis's defense needs to step up in a big way, and not much a bigger way you can start a drive by having your entire defensive line in the pocket, all of them easily in the area to get credit for that sack. I believe they're going to give it, though, to Chris Joseph with an assist to Rocco Rossi, the 2 defensive ends.
Offset I formation again for JQ. 6 in the box defensively. Handoff. Oh, what a stop. No, we didn't stop him. That's not a broken tackle. That is a broken tackle. How about a second one? And then down the right side, it's Douglas Brown. And he may have put a dagger in the hearts of the Ramblers. Right down the right sideline. That's a touchdown again for Tulsa.
We've seen Gabriel Manning do Gabriel Manning things. What we were missing from the Desperados is Douglas Brown doing Douglas Brown things. And we see it there. They send Ernest McCray on a quarterback blitz. And Douglas Brown breaks through a second, and has all the green in front of him. A great touchdown run by Douglas Brown, and again, the potential dagger in the hearts of Ramblers fans, as this one now is a 3-score ball game.
Brooke Beisel on for the extra point, and Tulsa gets the quick strike that they wanted. They've had a couple of quick strikes today. There's another point possibly added on to make it a 31 or 41-24 contest. That's up, and it is through for Tulsa. Don't count the Ramblers out yet. We know this team can come back from deficits. So we've definitely seen it before. We saw it as many as early as 7 days ago. So let's see if the Ramblers can get something going on offense with about 3/4 of this 4th quarter to go.
Yeah, they're definitely capable of doing it within this time frame. They had 28 points last week against Canton in the 4th quarter. 3 of those rushing touchdowns by Brad Jones. So don't be surprised if we see him get some more action in this one.
How about 2 spins from Kanye Rockefeller, 3 and then 4, and finally gets taken down at the 40-yard line. All right, Kanye, I see you. Just about had something work out in his favor, but they at least get good field position out of it.
Kanye trying to make up from those fumbles earlier in this ball game. Almost able to break one out himself. Breaks a couple of tackles, unfortunately. Not able to get the spin move past Weissel there. He's got to force the spin to the center of the field and bring Rockefeller into the host of Desperado jerseys. But sets up Indianapolis with some great field position to start this drive.
Not a lot of time to waste if you're in Indianapolis. Got to get down the field in not a terrible hurry yet, but they got to make it efficient. Power I set. This is going to be to the outside. And chance for Brad Jones on the swing. He will get himself 5 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up.
A decent start. 5 yards is better than no yards for the Ramblers offense. And as I said, Brad Jones getting his fair bit of work and getting a fair bit of work in here early on this drive. And again, he's been kind of their go-to this entire game.
I'd ask you to say what you said the first time again, but I don't know if you can repeat it. This is a run that Brad Jones gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage to the 39-yard line. Berto Demora. He's got a couple of offside penalties, but he's been good at stopping the run so far as well.
Yeah, definitely a boon for the side of Tulsa, despite the encroachment penalties that he's accrued. A great pass rusher is Berto Demora, as he proves there with that 3-yard TFL.
3rd and long. Colin Pierce has to throw it. Left side caught and out of bounds goes his target. That's not going to be enough for the first down. And decision time here for the Ramblers. I think with the deficit, I think you ought to try for it at least.
I could see that. I could also see them trying the old bait and switch, try and pull one of Tulsa's defensive line off sides. realistically though here, and what they're going to do is punt this ball away, and I think that's the right call.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I thought with the field position it might make sense, but either way, this will be a punt upcoming. Manning back deep again for the return. Has it at about the 16-yard line. He'll be taken down to 19. Almost nothing, plus 3 yards on the return. So Tulsa really has a chance to put this game away with a touchdown here, a chance to put up 48 points on the board, and I think that would be your swan song regardless of the comeback ability of the Ramblers.
Yeah, it's going to depend, though, I think, on how much time they have left on the clock. If Tulsa manages to score and we don't see the Ramblers pull up something big on defense here.
2 to the left. Single back. 7-step drop. JQ going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Another sack for the defensive line of Indianapolis. It'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, that one, Corey Dobbins getting his first sack on the sack sheet. That's now the entire defensive line here of Indianapolis that has at least a full sack to their credit in this one. And boy, that's the kind of plays that the Ramblers need at this point, especially with where Tulsa is field position-wise. It's a long shot, but we could see a safety here by the Ramblers.
That's to the outside. Douglas Brown, who just broke off that long touchdown run a little while ago. He'll get a couple yards back, make it a 3rd and 13, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. They do have plays in the playbook for that far out, but there's not a lot of them.
Yeah, and this could be exactly what Indianapolis needed, a punt that pins Tulsa deep, a 3-and-out by their defense, and they're right back in this one.
That's over the top. That one's caught. 1st down and more. Outside the 40 to the 45-yard line just about. And that is a Tulsa 1st down up the middle of the field.
And as I say that, of course, Sanzo Robinson getting his first grab of the game, giving a reception to the entire Desperado receiving core and making me immediately eat my words.
Weak eye set. Coming from Tulsa. Handoff. Douglas Brown. Block in front of him, and it's a good one. Trying to get to the outside. Has the edge. Burns the edge, and he's going to break a tackle and get out of bounds. 1st and 10 into Indianapolis territory. Don't look now, but Tulsa's moving down the field.
I tell you what, though. Kanye Rockefeller doesn't hang on to Douglas Brown's legs after the attempted tackle. Douglas Brown is gone in this situation.
Yeah.
He had so much running room in front of him. I think the closest Indianapolis defender was actually just behind Kanye, and Rockefeller saves a touchdown here for Indianapolis, but not before Douglas Brown gets a huge gain on that one.
Hard to believe that Tulsa's still looking for their first win of the season with the effort they put forth tonight. That's been really good. Chance for Douglas Brown to the outside. Breaks one tackle, and he gets taken down by a second effort. Behind the line he goes. And another chance for Indianapolis for a TFL.
Yeah, Indy's defense is still showing signs of life, but there's been some instances where Tulsa has had their number. And if you're Indianapolis, you definitely, as a fan of Indianapolis, you want to see a lot less of that from your defense.
Single back again, 2 to the right. JQ looks, throws deep over the middle of the field. That one's caught to the 15-yard line, down to the 13. And don't look now, it's a Gabriel Manning sighting one more time as he's got it in the red zone for the Desperados.
Yeah, and once again in a Tulsa Desperado game, it's Gabriel Manning doing Gabriel Manning things as he catches that ball in like triple coverage. Granted, the coverage wasn't necessarily close to him there, but Gabriel Manning has proven himself to be one of the most elite receiving threats here in the SFL with Tulsa.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He's been doing it for a lot of seasons now. Power eye set from the Desperados, 1st and 10 from the 14. Handoff, looking right side down to the 8-yard line, and Douglas Brown going to get taken down there. 170 yards on the ground. He's had a whale of a day. APM Music's unrivaled music to bring your stories to life. Inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music's the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Q. End zone. Tipped and incomplete. That one is going to be looking at third down, as it looks like that was McCray Sr. who came up with the stop.
Yeah, McCray Sr. comes up with a big pass deflection here. And if you're Indianapolis, this is where you bend, don't break. On this short yardage situation here, it's third and medium. Tulsa with an opportunity to reset the down marker before hitting the goal line. If you're Indianapolis, you want to stop them right here, right now.
Brown will not be stopped before he gets the first down. It makes this 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Of course, bending, not breaking is kind of hard to do when you're dealing with a running back like Douglas Brown. He's now approaching 200 on the ground in this game.
A couple of centuries for him, potentially in the future. I'm looking at an offset eye one more time for Tulsa. Trying to put this game to bed. Brown outside. Not going to do it. Gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and goal coming.
Yeah, it's gonna knock the total down a decent chunk there. Before that one, Douglas Brown unofficially at 200 all-purpose yards. That one's gonna knock him down to just under that total now.
Another chance for Tulsa here. Actually, 2nd and goal. Mistake there, but either way, they're gonna take as much time as they can off the clock. Hand off, left side, trying to get the edge. He does. Douglas Brown, end zone touchdown, and that's likely going to be your swan song. Tulsa puts up likely 48 after the Beisel extra point.
Yeah, and you got to feel for Indianapolis. They had their foot on the gas early on in this one. They scored first. They had the lead for the longest time, but Tulsa, their special team specifically, has proved the absolute difference maker, especially with some uncharacteristic mistakes by the veteran free safety, Kanye Rockefeller.
Yeah, they definitely made him pay for those. It ended up being 16 points off of 2 possessions. They cut technically 3, but you count 2 punt fumbles, and then you'll likely be kicking yourself after any of those. Beisel, slow-moving extra point, but it is up, and it is through after the holder does a good job getting it into position. 48-24, Tulsa doubling up the Indianapolis Ramblers with just a couple minutes left in this 4th quarter. So now if you're Indianapolis, you start to look forward a bit. Give yourself some momentum going into your next game. And you have Sioux Falls coming to town in 1 week's time. You're going to go in there with a 1-2 record, it looks like, if things hold. As we'll be back to Rockefeller at about the 3. To the 20, left to the 20 to 25, spin to 25. Rockefeller worked out a couple of decent returns his last couple times out, and close to the 30 is where the Ramblers will start this drive. Tulsa getting their first win. They have Canton next, and they have them at the Lucy Red Stadium as well. So these 2 teams are going to be equal records going into their next matchups, and that puts a logjam in the middle divisions really in this league. Right side, caught, out of bounds. He goes to stop the clock, although I think his momentum would have carried him that way anyway. That is Jeff Banfield with his 5th catch.
Yeah, also something to note here, this would put Tulsa ahead of Indianapolis in the Central Division, as these 2 teams are division rivals.
Yeah.
Going to be a pretty big blow for Indianapolis after the incredible performance they had last week against Canton.
Yeah, I mean, the incredible 4th quarter. They did not do much up until the start of the 4th quarter
Correct.
of that game. That's going to be a throw left side towards the sideline, tipped and incomplete. Ryan Roosevelt, your intended target. That wasn't going to happen with Nathan Heslop anywhere near that ball.
Yeah, no, Heslop, too elite of a defender, as we saw in their loss to London last week with that 90-yard interception return. That if Heslop's in the area of a ball gone wrong, he will make you pay for it.
And we say area, it could be a really long-ranging area. We're talking zip codes. Yeah. You could probably bring it in.
You're right.
That's going to be right side caught. And a good grab, make it no huddle for the Ramblers as they get past the midfield stripe. And they'll keep the I formation going. See how long they can keep it up. First and 10. Colin Pierce deep over the middle of the field. Tipped, and that one's intercepted. You saw it coming. The ricochet is going to end up in the hands, I believe, of Marco Swift, who brings that one in and effectively ends the offensive drive for the game.
Yeah, and that's Marco Swift's second on Colin Pierce in this one. And again, for that one, it's just right place, right time after a great deflection by his fellow defender. Marco Swift coming from that strong safety spot, she's able to swoop in and snag that ball and effectively end this ball game potentially. Though Indianapolis does still have a bit of time on their side, but being down 24, it's not looking likely for them.
And Douglas Brown is not going to let them have any time to themselves. 2 broken tackles and a first down for Douglas Brown as he's getting close to the 200-yard mark on the ground.
Douglas Brown is the ultimate late game Uno skip card as far as time goes.
The Uno skip card. And the reverse card was played last week by Indianapolis, so that probably isn't going to happen today. I like it. They're going to challenge the spot of the ball. I think, honestly, this is probably a good challenge, although not for time. I think he was probably realistically short looking back on that play. We'll see what here.
If he is short, it's going to be by inches at best.
He might have been. His knee would have been down a yard away. Let's see. Hard to tell on that angle here. We'll probably see it better here.
I think he was able to stretch for it. His knee's down there.
Okay.
It's so close.
It is very, very close. The head of the football may be close enough. We'll see if they give it to him.
They do.
The visiting team.
Okay, so they do overturn the ball spot, and they do give them the third down now is what that ends up being, I believe. Unless that touch is wrong. But yeah, it's going to be 3rd and inches.
It's like the backup halfback is in here for Tulsa.
Yeah, backups definitely in. That's a first down and more. Nearly a broken tackle, but that did not go their way, as it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Desperados as they work it down. King Jack Washington, the halfback backup, comes in and gets a first down.
Yeah, Tulsa, though, in this one, per SFL commish, Cameron Irvine, has scored as many points in the second half that Indianapolis did in their game last week against Canton. They're at 35 so far in this half.
That's
they were down.
35. Go ahead.
They were down 7 with 35 to go in the first half.
That makes sense. 35 unanswered points is how Indianapolis won the game last week against Canton, 28 of which were scored in the 4th quarter of that contest. This is another run for Washington, and up the middle we go, or to the right he goes anyway, and with a 6-yard run that way. Probably see a steady diet of the backups in here for the rest of this contest as we're not even at the 2-minute warning just yet.
Yeah, the Desperados allowing their favorite UPS truck to refuel a bit before the end of this one.
And that's what gets us to the end, to the 2-minute warning. 120 seconds left in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a 48-24 scoreline. The Desperados out in front of the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Chris Curtis, Aaron Alexander in the broadcast booth. Been a fun game, to say the least. Justin Reside, Nelson Lozano on stats with Dion Hawkins shadowing. And it's been a fun one. No doubt a lot of really high-scoring game. Definitely the over. You got to be looking out for at this point, as we're at 72 points with these two teams in tow.
Yeah, and Indianapolis now going to call their first time out here after the 2-minute warning. It's going to set up 3rd and short here for Tulsa. If you're Indianapolis, you'd like to see your defense get a stop here. While it may not matter in the sense of winning the game, it's definitely a pride thing, I think, for the Ramblers at this point.
Yeah, I'd say that is likely the case. This will be a handoff for Washington again. 1st down and 10, as Indianapolis got to do a reeval, I think, of the rush defense as it sits right now. It's not just Douglas Brown, the starter, that's gashing them a bit. It's actually the running back backup, King Jack Washington, who's also doing the same.
Yeah, Douglas Brown, before Washington comes in, cracks it just under 200 yards on the ground, unofficially 100 93 with a hat trick of touchdowns for the sophomore halfback.
Back up to Sherry Young under center at the quarterback position, and King Jack gets the run again. And it'll be a 2nd and 10 with nothing doing on the run. Indianapolis calls their last timeout, and the Desperados can start to run the timeout with no repercussions at this point.
Yeah, and realistically, if Tulsa wanted to, they could, bring Book Bicelet again at 4th down, presuming that it gets to that point, and extend their lead. But it looks like they're just going to go into victory formation and let time expire.
Yeah, clock management skills definitely on display there for Tulsa as they kneel the ball. Update out in Atlanta at the Hive, a close game out there. Atlanta over Houston right now, 27-24, as Atlanta starting to show off a little bit of the offense that they've been lacking so far this season, but they could use a good game at home like that if that score holds. So that one happening on the SFL's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SimulationFL is where that is currently. Kneel formation again for the Desperados as this gets down inside of a minute after this kneel is done.
Yeah, and they are going to leave a bit of time left on the clock for Indianapolis. But I think at this point, you bring Book Bicelet on for the field goal attempt just because.
Yeah.
Right? More points isn't necessarily a bad thing here.
Go for the 50 burger. Why not?
Yeah, it could be the difference at the end of the day between making and missing playoffs, especially with how close some of these games have been that we've seen these past 2 weeks. So it's a bit of a long one here, roughly 50 for Bicelet, but if I recall, she hit one from 51 earlier in this one.
This is up, and it is no good. Just a little bit short on the attempt. She hit from 44 earlier. Is what it ended up being. Not quite enough on the leg for this one as it gets just under the bar. Very close.
Which, I'll be honest with you, I think the wind may have played a bit of a factor in that one, because I recall that the kickoffs going that way ended up a lot shorter than going toward the opposite end zone. So I think a bit of windage there prevented that one from going through. But a good attempt from Bicelet nonetheless.
Chance for Colin Pierce to maybe get some points going back the other way past midfield. 1st down for Indianapolis. They'll run the no huddle a little bit.
Yeah, they have to. They have no timeouts left.
And that's going to be a spiked ball so they can get another opportunity very, very shortly.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 for Pierce and company.
Probably going to see a Hail Mary formation here out of Indianapolis. Just to give Pierce an attempt at the end zone with 13 seconds left to go. They do have technically 3 chances at it, depending on how things develop downfield. But realistically, this is probably going to be the last snap that we see here from either side.
Might be a chance for Tulsa to get at the quarterback one more time. Nope, they'll heave it deep right side. That has enough on it distance-wise, and it is going to be incomplete. As Travis Arthur, I believe, got a hand on it to knock it down. He'll be credited with the PD on it. And 3rd down coming up for Indianapolis.
So Indianapolis does get another chance. That one only took 9 seconds off the clock. Colin Pierce definitely has the arm to get it to the end zone. Unfortunately, too many Tulsa defenders in the area, and we're likely to see that again here with Tulsa in the dime look.
How about another one? Deep right side again. That one is tipped and eventually will hit the ground, and that is the end of your ball game. 48-24, Tulsa gets their first win in their first time at Lucy Red Stadium, newly christened building, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Desperados as they take control of the Central Division.
Yeah, and I have to feel for Indianapolis, not able to put away their first road game, but a big morale booster for Tulsa getting their first win of the season at home in their newly renamed stadium. Tulsa just played out of their minds, especially here in the second half. Again, got to give props to their special teams unit, the 2 forced fumbles on Kanye Rockefeller, the kick return for touchdown by Gabriel Manning. Of course, again, Gabriel Manning doing Gabriel Manning things. We all expect it. Exactly. One spin, boom, gone. Gabriel Manning as a return man is just built different. But I think at the end of the day, you got to give player of the game to Douglas Brown. Over 200 all-purpose yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Just the absolute spark that Tulsa needed in order to win this ball game, especially coming out of the locker rooms at half.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a completely different game at the end of the first half. The Desperados were already starting to turn momentum their way, and then they just continued it in that second half by putting up a ton of unanswered points in that third and fourth quarter. So very, very good work. You'd say Douglas Brown. I'd say I would agree. Honorary mention goes to Randy Pierce as well. He was very, very good for the Indianapolis offense. 2 touchdowns for him. And then let's give some love over to Brad Jones. He was not bad either. However, just not enough to go around for the Indianapolis offense to get things done, especially when your defense gives up 48 points. Some re-eval going, I'm sure, at that point.
Also got to give credit to the defensive line of Indianapolis with, 4 or 5 sacks total? But
yeah,
of course, it's got to be Douglas Brown.
Oh, yeah, and it should be. 187 yards, 3 touchdowns, got the hat trick, 37 through the air as well, and that is going to do it. For our statisticians, Justin Reside, Nelson Lozano, Dion Hawkins, and producer and commissioner Cameron Irvine, as well as my partner Aaron Alexander, I'm Chris Curtis saying goodbye and good night from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Lucy Red Stadium. We will see you for the rest of Week 3 action. Right now, head over to twitch.tv/SimulationFL for the conclusion of a good one. Houston and Atlanta in the fourth quarter as we sit. Thank you very much, and have a good night.